advance into the semi-finals.
Tennis is a game with great history and even greater controversy, especially in the event of an upset. A tennis upset, in simple terms, is any match in which a low-rated player beats a high-rated player. In short, you'll never see an upset coming, and it'll leave your jaw on the floor. In this video, we're giving you a roundup of the most incredible tennis upsets of all time. Before we continue, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's begin. Number 5. Nishikori vs Murray, US Open 2016.
What will be the keys today against Andy Murray?
Well, he's a great player, great serve, great return, and most disciplined players have to be really aggressive and also playing solid match.
Good luck today, buddy.
To start us off is one of the more recent upsets in the world of tennis. But that doesn't mean that it isn't great. At the men's quarterfinal match in the 2016 US Open, legendary tennis star Andy Murray had no idea that he was about to experience one of the most unexpected losses in his entire career. Murray at the time was the number 2 seed, and nearly half the world expected him to actually win the US Open. But of course, that never happened. Why? Because of the year's 6th seed and the runner-up at the 2014 Open, who came back and stunned Murray. 1-6, 6-4, 4-6, 6-1, 7-5 in a thrilling back-and-forth duel that was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Nishikori had previously lost a grand total of 8 matches to Murray, so it's safe to say that he went in not expecting much. Perhaps the most important factor behind the rookie's win was the fact that it was a rainy day and the roof had been closed because of it, which is what changed the game. Many players believe that when the roof is closed, it creates slower conditions because of increased humidity and an absence of wind. As a rule, that would help those looking to return big serves because it slows those serves down. While Murray definitely had a better serve than Nishikori, the rookie player broke Murray's serve 9 times, including 3 times in the final set. Murray broke Nishikori's 8 times. At 5-5 in the 5th set, Murray was looking to protect a break point.
Ouch.
Nishikori hit a drop shot, and Murray chased it down and hit a 2-handed backhand down the line, and soon it was all over for Murray.
Nishikori has beaten Andy Murray.
Number 4. Ivanovic vs Coyne US Open 2008. Now this one is definitely one of those moments no one saw coming, especially because Julie Coyne was able to upset the number 1 player in women's tennis, Ana Ivanovic. After winning the French Open title in 2008, Serb Ana Ivanovic was the top seed at Flushing Meadows. But her status at the top was soon shaken when she was beaten by Coyne with a score of 6-3, 4-6, 6-3, which also marked the first time in 40 years at the Open that the number 1 seed on the women's side of the draw lost in the second round. Even though Ivanovic already had a thumb injury, even that wasn't enough for anyone to ever be able to see the upset coming, simply because of how magnificent she always was at the field. And in turn, Coyne spent much of the year playing in minor league events to the point where she nearly got knocked out of the qualifying event to merely make it into the Open. In fact, her poor game almost made her give up on the sport and go back to her degree. The US Open showed the world just how much the rookie player was capable of. While Ivanovic led 40-love in the 5th game and was about to break Coyne's serve when suddenly the momentum shifted, and that's when Coyne was able to give us one of the greatest tennis upsets in history. Coyne herself has admitted that the upset was a shock to her, but it's ultimately what gave her the confidence to stick to the game. Number 3. Krajicek vs Sampras, Wimbledon 1996. Pete Sampras practically dominated the grass courts of Wimbledon back in the day. And while Krajicek was considered to be an inconsistent player, the finesse with which he knocked a player as great as Sampras out of the park is definitely worth mentioning. Krajicek put Sampras' 25 win streak to shame as he crumbled beneath the force of 7 unconverted break opportunities and 29 aces from Krajicek. It took Pete, the Dutch destroyer, 30 minutes to take the game away from Sampras, with the third set at 1-on-1 when play resumed. Sampras held serve, but not without having to fight off Krajicek, whose service returns were no match for the opponent. Krajicek's favourite ploy was to hit the returns at Sampras' feet, then follow with a backhand down the line for winner after winner. Once Krajicek broke Sampras in the 7th game, even Sampras seemed to know it was over, because by then, he had failed to convert any of his 7 break points. After that, all the tennis legend could do was watch the win slip away from his hands. The upset made Krajicek one of the few players who can boast about having a winning record against the legend that is Pete Sampras. According to Krajicek himself, it isn't easy to defeat Sampras, and all the tennis player ever hoped for was for him to make 1 or 2 mistakes so Krajicek could use that to his advantage. And that's exactly what he did. Number 2. Federer vs Stakhovsky, Wimbledon 2013. It looks like Wimbledon is definitely a popular event for upsets, because in 2013, the world of tennis saw a defeat that no one has been able to recover from, even to this day. In a completely unexpected turn of events, Roger Federer, one of the world's greatest tennis players, was knocked out of the tournament after a 7-6, 6-7, 5-7, 6-7 second round defeat by Sergei Stakhovsky, a 27-year-old Ukrainian ranked number 116 in the world. Imagine that! Stakhovsky's aggression at the net was too much for Federer to handle, and the young tennis star's relentless serves ultimately overwhelmed the champion to a point where he had no choice but to accept his defeat. While Stakhovsky lost the first set on a tiebreak, but an hour and a half later he was storming his way through the 4th with an energy that never seemed to die down. But let's be honest, the game did start off really well for Federer. But during the second half, things went downhill. At 2-1 up in the tiebreak, Stakhovsky produced another stellar moment, a backhand winner. Moments later, Federer netted another backhand, and it was a double match point for the player, who had never been past the second round of Wimbledon.
An astonishing end to what is arguably the biggest upset in Wimbledon men's history.
Stakhovsky himself has said that Federer is a legend to him, and beating him was one of the greatest moments in his tennis career. Number 1. Kyrgios vs Nadal, Wimbledon 2014. Rafael Nadal is known to be an unbeatable name in the world of tennis. So it was quite the surprise when a 19-year-old Nick Kyrgios managed to one-up the legendary player in one of the greatest upsets in tennis history, where he beat the world number 1 Nadal in 4 sets to reach the quarterfinals of the tournament. Legends of the game and fans alike expected Nadal to give young Kyrgios a clinic, whereas the result ended up being quite the opposite. The match was a treat to watch for all tennis enthusiasts. And it wasn't until the 4th set when Kyrgios really got the break that he needed to defeat a champion as seasoned as Nadal. However, this upset made Kyrgios the first teenager to defeat a world number 1 at a major tournament since Nadal did it against Roger Federer at Roland Garros in 2005. Throughout the game, Kyrgios retained his excellent form. He served brilliantly, blasting 37 aces, reeled off a string of massive winners, but also mixed up his game cleverly, which is what led to his historical win. It was this game that made the world stop and take notice of the young Australian's potential. It also created extreme tension between the two players.
Yeah, I actually was going for him, yeah.
Which has led to several nail-biting matches and a constant rivalry on the courts. That's a wrap for 5 most incredible upsets of all time. Did we forget to mention a specific match? Which one was your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. See you in the next one.